The fourth generation of Logitech's flagship productivity mouse is finally here, and it lands in a market where expectations are higher than ever. For years the MX Master series has been the benchmark for people who spend long hours at a desk, balancing comfort, multi-device connectivity and clever software features. The MX Master 4 carries that legacy forward while trying to correct some of the frustrations that longtime users experienced with the MX Master 3 and 3S. Rather than simply repackaging the same hardware, this model introduces a fresh combination of design changes, internal upgrades and software-driven capabilities that signal a shift in Logitech's approach to premium peripherals. One of the first things longtime fans will notice is the slight but deliberate reshaping of the body. The overall silhouette is unmistakably MX Master, but the contours from the top peak to the main buttons have been refined, producing a slightly less rounded profile. The back edge presses into the palm in a different way that some users may find more noticeable, though the difference is subtle enough that most hands will adapt quickly. These refinements reflect Logitech's ongoing attempt to balance the sculpted comfort that makes the MX Master series famous with small adjustments aimed at improving grip and control. The weight, however, moves in the opposite direction of what many users hoped for. Where the MX Master 3S tipped the scales at 141 grams, the new version climbs to around 150 grams. For a mouse designed primarily for productivity, this extra mass may not be a deal-breaker, but anyone dreaming of using the MX Master 4 as a hybrid gaming mouse will find the added grams reinforce its desk-bound identity. The likely culprit for the increase is the brand new haptic engine buried inside the chassis. Logitech has decided that a richer tactile experience is worth a few extra grams, and the result is a mouse that feels more planted on the desk but less nimble for high-speed movements. Durability was a hot topic with earlier models, particularly the soft-touch coating that many owners reported degrading into a sticky mess over time. In response, Logitech has abandoned that finish across the largest surfaces, opting instead for a hard-textured plastic reminiscent of the back of a modern game controller. This material feels sturdy and resists the kind of wear that plagued earlier units. The side panels remain rubberized for grip, but the composition has changed dramatically. Instead of the silky rubber of the past, the MX Master 4 uses silicone similar to the material found on heat-resistant kitchen tools. The surface feels slightly firmer and less luxurious out of the box, yet it promises far greater longevity and easier cleaning. Only time will reveal whether this silicone truly solves the long-term wear issue, but first impressions suggest a much more robust solution. Switch reliability is another area where Logitech chose continuity over change. The silent switches under the primary buttons remain the same as those in the 3S, offering the same crisp but muted click that makes the MX series ideal for quiet workspaces. The downside is that the previous generation occasionally suffered from premature failures, and while some of those cases were blamed on dust intrusion rather than mechanical defects, the risk remains. Logitech has not confirmed any internal redesign to prevent dust ingress, so the community will be watching closely to see if the new housing keeps debris out more effectively. Connectivity is central to the MX Master identity, and here the MX Master 4 delivers meaningful improvements. A new wireless chip doubles processing power compared to the 3S, and internal antenna placement has been re-engineered for stronger Bluetooth and Logi Bolt performance. Early tests show more stable connections and fewer drops even in environments crowded with wireless devices. However, the polling rate remains capped at 125 Hz, which is perfectly adequate for office tasks but well below the responsiveness competitive gamers demand. Wired operation is still absent. You can charge and use the mouse simultaneously, but data continues to flow only over wireless protocols. The headline addition is the haptic engine. For the first time in the MX series, users can feel subtle vibrations that provide physical confirmation of on-screen events. Out of the box, the haptics provide small nudges for pairing, low battery warnings and a handful of integrated functions. When paired with Logitech's options plus software, the possibilities expand dramatically. Creative professionals can set up Photoshop to deliver a gentle pulse when layers snap into alignment, or receive tactile cues when adjusting sliders in editing programs. Although developer adoption will determine the ultimate utility of this feature, the potential for richer interaction is obvious. Haptics add a layer of feedback that can make precise adjustments more intuitive, reducing reliance on purely visual cues. Another new capability is the action ring, a pressure-sensitive area on the thumb rest that summons contextual controls. Pressing this ring can open a customizable radial menu or program-specific shortcuts without moving the cursor. In applications that demand frequent tool changes or navigation commands, this can save valuable time. Like the haptics, the action ring requires Logitech Options Plus to function, and users operating on lockdown corporate machines may never experience its benefits. Still, for those with access to the software, the feature represents one of the most ambitious productivity upgrades Logitech has attempted in years. Logitech has also made quiet improvements to serviceability and ergonomics. The bottom of the MX Master 4 now includes exposed screws, making it easier for owners or technicians to disassemble the mouse for cleaning or repair. This is a nod to the right to repair movement and a welcome change for anyone who wants to extend the life of their investment. The side scroll wheel offers a greater range of motion and improved acceleration, allowing faster horizontal navigation across wide spreadsheets or timelines. Its placement is slightly higher and farther back, which may require an adjustment period for users with smaller hands. The forward and back buttons have been shifted rearward as well to accommodate a relocated gesture button, again requiring some muscle memory retraining. Not every change will be universally celebrated. The omission of a charging cable in a premium device may frustrate buyers expecting a complete package. The added weight will remain a sticking point for those who hoped for a lighter design. And while the silicone side grips are likely more durable, some users will miss the silky feel of the old coating. Yet taken together, these adjustments show Logitech responding to user feedback while pushing the MX Master series into new territory. From a productivity standpoint, the MX Master 4 remains a powerhouse. Multi-device pairing allows seamless switching between computers. The MagSpeed scroll wheel still delivers lightning-fast vertical scrolling with precise control, and battery life continues to be excellent despite the addition of haptics. For writers, coders, designers and anyone who values comfort during long sessions, the refined shape and enhanced connectivity make everyday tasks smoother and more reliable. Creative professionals stand to gain the most from the new features, particularly if software developers embrace the haptic API and action ring integrations. In practical use, the MX Master 4 feels like the culmination of Logitech's experience in building ergonomic productivity tools. The slightly altered geometry supports natural hand placement, reducing fatigue over extended sessions. The hard plastic top resists fingerprints and remains comfortable even in warm environments. The silicone sides provide secure grip without the sticky residue that haunted earlier models. The silent switches offer satisfying tactile response without disrupting quiet offices or late-night work sessions. The improved wireless chip keeps connection stable even when multiple devices compete for spectrum. The MX Master 4 also reflects a larger trend in peripheral design, the blending of hardware and software into a unified experience. Features like the haptic engine and action ring are only as powerful as the integrations that support them. Logitech is betting that developers will embrace these new capabilities, creating a feedback loop where the hardware encourages richer software experiences and the software, in turn, justifies the hardware investment. Early adopters will be part of that experiment, enjoying the immediate benefits while waiting to see how far third-party support can extend the platform. For those upgrading from the MX Master 3 or 3S, the decision will depend on priorities. If you were frustrated by the deteriorating soft-touch coating, the new materials alone may justify the move. If you crave the latest features and are curious about haptics and the action ring, the MX Master 4 offers a playground for experimentation. If you are perfectly content with your current mouse and uninterested in extra weight or experimental feedback, you may prefer to wait for a future generation that refines these ideas further. In the broader landscape of productivity mice, the MX Master 4 stands as a statement of intent. Logitech is not chasing gaming specs or minimalist aesthetics. Instead, it is doubling down on a philosophy that values comfort, reliability and feature-rich customization. By embracing haptics and contextual controls, the company signals a willingness to innovate in a category that often relies on incremental improvements. Whether these bets pay off will depend on user adoption and long-term durability, but the ambition is unmistakable. Ultimately, the MX Master 4 is more than a simple successor. It is a bold iteration that seeks to enhance the tactile relationship between user and computer. It invites you to feel your work, to receive subtle physical confirmations that bridge the gap between digital and physical worlds. It demands a little more from your wallet and your wrist, but it offers a richer, more interactive experience in return. For professionals who spend countless hours navigating complex digital environments, that trade-off may be worth every gram and every dollar. The verdict will vary from person to person. Some will celebrate the haptics, silicon sides, and improved connectivity as transformative. Others will lament the heavier body, unchanged switches, and continued reliance on software for full functionality. But there is no denying that the MX Master 4 represents a thoughtful evolution of one of the most beloved productivity mice ever made. It is a tool designed not just to move a pointer on a screen, but to make the act of creation, navigation, and control more intuitive.